All right, let's get into it. Today, we're embarking on the ultimate American road trip. We're going to take a virtual journey across an entire continent, from these massive towering mountains to incredible sprawling cities. This isn't just a trip, it's really about exploring the places that define the American dream of travel. So, why the USA? It's a really good question, right? For so many people, it's about way more than just sightseeing. It's about this promise of adventure, this feeling of freedom, and landscapes so big and wild they almost defy imagination. So let's hit the road and see if we can find some answers. Okay, our adventure kicks off on the legendary West Coast. This is where you get that amazing collision of rugged, raw nature and some of the most innovative and exciting cities on the entire planet. Our first stop, Big Sur, California. I want you to just picture this. You're winding along the famous Highway 1. You've got these ancient, towering redwood forests on one side, and on the other, sheer cliffs just dropping straight into the vast Pacific Ocean. You can almost feel the salt spray. I mean, this is the absolute definition of a classic American drive. So, from that serene coastal drive, we're heading north, right into the vibrant energy of San Francisco. This is a city that's literally built on hills and new ideas, a place that somehow perfectly balances its deep history with a constant push toward what's next. And wow, San Francisco is just a city of icons. You absolutely have to ride a cable car that's been climbing these insane hills for over 100 years. You can stand on the rock at Alcatraz and then maybe go bike across the magnificent Golden Gate Bridge. Every one of these things tells a totally different part of the city's story. Okay, from the city, we're heading inland, up into the Sierra Nevada mountains to Yosemite National Park. And let me tell you, this place is all about scale. You just feel so small standing beneath the towering granite face of El Capitan or looking up at the majestic Half Dome. It's humbling, and it's something you will truly never forget. All right, now we're pointing our car east, leaving the coast way behind us and heading for the vast, rugged heart of the American Mountain West. So get ready for some unbelievable canyons, towering peaks, and sweeping deserts. And our gateway to this region? Well, it's the neon oasis of Las Vegas. But what's so cool is that just beyond the famous Strip, a super short drive away, you'll find a completely different kind of spectacle: the fiery red cliffs of Red Rock Canyon. It's this perfect example of the wild beauty that literally surrounds this desert city. Speaking of natural wonders, take a guess. How many natural sandstone arches do you think you could find in just a single park? The answer is staggering. It's over 2,000. That's what makes Arches National Park in Utah just so mind-blowing, including the world-famous Delicate Arch, a total masterpiece carved by millions of years of just wind and water. The sheer diversity in Utah is incredible. In Zion, one minute you can be hiking, literally wading through the Virgin River in the Narrows with these massive canyon walls soaring above you. And then you can go to Monument Valley, and suddenly you're in the heart of the Navajo Nation, surrounded by these iconic sandstone buttes that you've seen in countless classic Western films. It's an immersive canyon versus a wide-open cinematic landscape. And now, we've arrived at the Grand Canyon. It's one of those places you think you know from pictures, but trust me, standing on the rim is a completely different experience. You're looking at 2 billion years of Earth's history, all carved out by the Colorado River. It's a sight that really, truly puts everything into perspective. Okay, time for a whirlwind tour right through the heart of the Rocky Mountains. We're starting in Colorado, driving the sky-high Trail Ridge Road. Then it's on to Wyoming, where the dramatic peaks of the Grand Tetons just explode out of the plains. Right next door, you've got Yellowstone, the world's very first national park, home to the one and only Old Faithful. And we'll finish this mountain montage in Montana on the breathtaking Going to the Sun Road in Glacier National Park. 4 states, 4 absolutely incredible experiences. Leaving the mountains in our rearview mirror, we're now heading into America's heartland, the Midwest and the Great Lakes region. And here, you're going to find this fascinating mix of quiet, historic island getaways and huge architectural powerhouses. So first up is something truly unique: Mackinac Island, Michigan. The moment you step off the ferry, it feels like you've stepped back in time. There are 0 cars here, just the clip-clop of horse-drawn carriages and the quiet hum of bicycles. It's this charming island full of Victorian architecture. And oh yeah, you have to try the world-famous fudge. It's a roll. From that island tranquility, we're diving headfirst into the urban energy of Chicago. Known as the Windy City, this is the birthplace of the skyscraper, it's a hub of amazing culture and food, and it's all right there on the shore of Lake Michigan, which honestly looks and feels more like an ocean. Now, there is just so much to do in Chicago. You can get that perfect photo of your reflection in the iconic sculpture of the bean, test your nerve by stepping out onto the glass ledge at the top of Willis Tower, and then you have to cap off the day with a slice of the city's legendary deep dish pizza. It's this hearty, cheesy masterpiece born right here in the city. It's just a feast for all your senses. For our final leg, we are heading to the East Coast, the cradle of American history. This is where colonial charm meets these beautiful, rugged coastlines and some of the nation's most iconic cities. We're going to start with a true force of nature. Every single second, 6 million cubic feet of water thunder over Niagara Falls. And listen, that's not just a number on a screen. It's a roar that you can feel deep in your chest. It is a breathtaking display of raw natural power. From that natural power, we're jumping into revolutionary history in Boston. You can spend your morning walking the Freedom Trail, literally tracing the steps of America's founders. Then, in the afternoon, maybe catch a game at the legendary Fenway Park. And for dinner, it has to be a classic New England lobster roll. It's a city where history is literally right around every single corner. And just a short drive from the city brings us to the breezy, beautiful shores of Cape Cod. I mean, this is the classic New England summer getaway. You've got these charming seaside villages, iconic lighthouses, and miles of sandy beaches. You can just smell the salt in the air. Continuing south, we land on the Outer Banks of North Carolina. This place is so cool. It's wild, it's windswept, and you can actually see wild horses roaming free on the dunes. But it's also a place that changed the world. Kitty Hawk, where the Wright brothers first took flight and literally altered the course of human history forever. And our journey concludes in the heart of the South, Savannah, Georgia. Now, this is a city that just moves at its own relaxed pace. Imagine walking through these beautiful town squares, shaded by ancient oak trees draped in Spanish moss, past stunning historic mansions, and through the beautiful and haunting Bonaventure Cemetery. It's just an unforgettable, enchanting way to end our trip. You know, looking back on this whole trip, if there's one word to describe it, it's gotta be diversity. From the Pacific to the Atlantic, through massive canyons and glittering cities, we've seen how every single corner of this country tells a completely different story. And that variety, that's what makes the American road trip so special. And really, that brings us right back to that idea of the American dream of adventure. We have only seen just a fraction of what this country has to offer. So now the question for you is simple. Where will your American adventure begin?